What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm me showing you how to make an Ashley furniture home store. I want to say that's the way it's called, or the thing it's called. I don't remember. It's a bunch of words in a specific order like that. I almost also said continuing to show you because I'm so used to the game tutorials right now, but that's fine. I didn't. Here it is anyway. There will not be an interior for this, unfortunately, just because large store equals no. Yeah, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Maybe I'll bring back the streams right of the interiors. That'd be fun. Here are all the materials we're needing for this build. Not a huge selection. Do note for the gray banner, you do need loom, gray dye, white dye. Alrighty, and the space for me for this is a 76 by 47. And the materials you will be needing to start off are gray concrete, quartz bricks, black stained glass pins, smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz stairs, deep slate tile blocks, black stained glass blocks, pale oak door, and what would be like a logical final option? I don't really know if there is one. I'm just gonna say for the hell of it, deep set tile stairs. I don't know if they're particularly the best, but that's fine. Starting from the front left-hand corner of your 76 by 47 grid call if you minute. If you need to start from the front right, you can do that as well. This build is symmetrical with the exception of the banner letters. You want to start anyway by counting back by 3 and right by 1, and going to the right, you will place 8 gray concrete. It's time for a pattern. You'll then place 2 quartz bricks. Well, I gotta pull up my thingy. Oh lord. Gray concrete, 4 black stained glass pins, gray concrete, 2 quartz bricks, gray concrete, 4 black stained glass pins, gray concrete, 2 quartz bricks, gray concrete, 3 black stained glass pins, and you'll end with a gray concrete. Remember, we have essentially 3 sections here on the front. The left and the right one are the same, but just do keep them different from the middle even as you do this. Or just kind of, I guess, in the back of your head, make sure that you know they're different. From the furthest right gray concrete, you'll go forward diagonally right with a quartz brick. Forward one. Right one. Back diagonally right with a deep slate tile, and then back diagonally right with the black glass. Bring that right one. Then right with 2 pale oak doors. 2 black glass. Sorry. 4 diagonally right with a deep slate tile. 2 minutes in and I'm already bored apparently. 4 diagonally right with a quartz brick. Right. Back. Back diagonally right with a gray concrete. And then you're copying the other side over here. So right with 3 pins. Gray. 2 quartz bricks. Gray. 4 pins. Gray. 2 quartz bricks. Gray. 4 pins, gray, 2 quartz bricks, and then what was it, 8 gray? Yes, that is correct, 8. The left and right have detail. Now, if you are building this in like a shopping center where you're going to have buildings on either side of it, just don't worry about it. Because I don't, though, I'm going to show you the window pattern. It'd probably be advised to have one side open and the other not. That would be kind of my guess. So pick and choose. I'll start with the left side here. But on both sides, you do want to do the same thing, where you start by going back from this corner gray concrete with 7 gray concrete. Then place 2 quartz bricks. Gray concrete. 3 pins. Gray concrete. 2 quartz bricks. Gray concrete. 3 pins, gray concrete, Jesus, 2 quartz bricks, gray concrete, 3 pins, then a gray, 2 quartz bricks, and then 12 gray concrete. And you'll copy that on the other side. So again, you start with 7 back from the corner, then 2 quartz bricks, gray, 3 pins, gray, etc., etc., until you should hit the end, which will be 12 quartz brick, or 12 gray concrete, sorry. Apparently I am too tired for this. You can connect the gray concretes together at the back, just because. It doesn't really matter. Although, since we only have the layout, this is kind of a good point to look and decide if you want to go further back or not. You can, in theory, kick out that back wall, just leave it open, and build your interior, and then once you have the interior done, decide if you need to push the wall back, or kind of do it as you go with the interior. That's generally what I've been doing for the refresh, just to make sure I have the right spacing, or usually I'll like kind of hybrid it, where I kind of mark out what I think the room sizes will be, and just kind of work with it. But it is up to you. Each window section is fairly the same. So you want to start by taking, again, we're going to leave the middle open because the middle's a bit different here. But you want to take each quartz brick that is not like these little right angles on the front here, and you'll extend them up with the following pattern. A smooth quartz stair that should face out. Smooth quartz block. Then another smooth quartz block, actually, and then another smooth quartz stair facing out. So it's stair, 2 blocks, stair. I did not think it was... I thought it was 1, my bad. And you want to do this on each of the quartz bricks. Again, except for the middle ones. Fairly simple pattern, but it is kind of a bit of work. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Sorry if I'm making minor mistakes. I'm doing this tutorial... No particular reason why. I just want to see if I can today since I'm doing a couple basic city builds. But, I'm doing this the older way where instead of using my alt account to look at the build, I just have images and some notes. Generally for these I don't need much, but this one has a bit more detail than the average... the average store, which ironically the other one I'm recording today I think also does. Assuming that's the one I record. I could do a house or something, I'm not really sure. Anyway, you should have this. The gray concretes on each side of the panes, you're going to extend up by 4 and then connect them together to kind of create these archways. You can bring up the panes if you want, but I'll dedicate its own step to that. I don't know. That is the next step. That's basically all I was saying that for. But yeah, fairly simple steps. Sometimes I like hitting you with a lot at once, and sometimes I like it just a little bit. You know, it's the easier way in, but... These are also easier and shorter anyway, so it's not particularly something we should be concerned about as an issue. But then it'll also give me time, if I just do the 2 short ones, to get Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 ready for a new tour. That probably is out by now, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, you're gonna bring each pane up by 3. Or 4, whatever it is, it's 3. Yeah, okay. Is it really? Yeah, I guess it is, huh? I didn't think these were squares. But no, I guess that makes sense, because, yeah, I just knew the 1 was a rectangle, the 3x4. But I thought it was 3x5 for some reason, but I guess it wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. Again, it is always nice. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm so used to the video game tutorials. It is nice to take a break, because I just did the entirety of Ban pretty much with no breaks, so... Yeah, Ban 0. Which wasn't exactly too bad, but, you know, that was 9 parts, I think? And before that, I had, like, maybe a 1 or 2 day in between, which I'll probably do 2 this time, so I can just not quite get back into Chapter 2 yet, just give myself a bit of a break. I don't want to burn myself out on one of those, you know? Because those are, always fun. Anyway, you should have this. The remaining gray concrete, you want to bring up to the same height, which is just 4 rows up. This does include the back if you're doing the back. Yeah, that's really the only important thing, I guess, to mention. But, it's up to you. I will do it, just because. You could also wait and do it later if you just want to get the main stuff out of the way and don't want to hear me ramble, or you could, I guess there's other ways to get around me rambling, but that's besides the point. Yeah, it's not really a ton of layers, so it doesn't matter all that much. I don't really have anything interesting. I'm scared though, because the next refresh I'm recording is Walmart, which I don't think that'll be out yet. I don't think I'll be even like close to it. Probably maybe like Chick-fil-A will have been released by now. I'm not sure. I don't know where I'm at right now as far as what's been public, but Yeah, that one's gonna be the worst out of the ones I've made so far. Aquarium might be worse, actually. Aquarium and hospital. Hospital was pretty rough, but I don't know. Hospital was a lot of repetition. Walmart will not be. So, anyway, you should have this. On top of all the walls you have, you're just gonna place a single row of smooth quartz blocks going all the way around. It's weird. Normally I go with a base row, right? But this time I went with a trim at the top rather than the base. So, you know, I'll take that. It actually doesn't look bad. When I ended up doing it, because I did it on the front, just for reasons, at least like over the windows. And when I extended it over there, I was like, it kind of looks good, and I just brought it around, and I'm happy with it. Ow, that was a really bad spot to hit my finger. Anyway, you should have this. One more little step, and then we'll start doing the middle section here. So, above each glass pane, the gray concrete's only above them, you're going to place deep slate tile stairs facing out. The, like, corners of these arches you are leaving open. It's just the particular gray concretes that are above panes, as I mentioned. You could bring them over if you think it looks better. I think it looks good as is, but, you know. Those are the little things you can play with. I mentioned it, I was rambling about it on a Twitch stream recently. Just, like, playing with something like that and just seeing how you like it, you know? If you don't like it this way, then, you know, try a different way. And just play around with it until you have something you like, and it's a good way to kind of pinpoint things on builds that may be bad, at least to your personal opinions. We can now do the center here. You can get rid of the pale oak doors and get out deep slate tile slabs, and we're actually not going to start with that. I just wanted to grab those. You want to take the front quartz bricks on either side and extend them up with smooth quartz stairs facing forward. Then smooth quartz blocks. And then 5 gray concrete. Just like so. You should have some pillars. You'll take the middle of the 5 gray concretes and extend them in by 1. The 2 rows above that can be brought all the way across to kind of give you an archway. Extend the deep slate tile blocks all the way up until they're behind that gray concrete kind of that sticks out, which should be 5 up. And then you can take that top one and you'll extend them. I believe you'll connect them together with upside down deep slate tile stairs. I don't know. My image quality is so bad I really can't tell. Under the left and right upside down stairs, you'll place upside down slabs like so. I will confirm that's what was done though. That was correct, yeah. So you can then bring the black glass up until essentially it just fills in this little area here. It should just be a rectangle of glass. It is kind of as like a bit of an arch to it because of the deep slate, but you do have to go behind that upside down slab. You can get rid of your black stained glass and get out smooth quartz slabs, and off of the, not the row directly above the pale oak doors, but 1 row up from that, or 1 row down from the top, I guess. You'll place a row of smooth quartz slabs across like so. Nice. Now, on these sides here, you'll take this quartz brick on the left and right and extend it up with 2 smooth quartz and then 5 gray concrete. And it should be the same height as what we have. On the front, you'll just place rows of gray concrete on top of the row we already have that gets shorter on one side each row until you should hit a 2-block center, and you'll just stop. Like so. This section is a square. I'll explain why in a second, and I'll explain what you can do. However, you want to take... Well, how long is this? I don't actually know off the top of my head, so I'm going to count this real quick. You see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And since we have 2, I'm going to take the top 2 rows of gray concrete here on the like flat portions before the diagonal, and I'll just bring them back with 10 gray. And I'll connect them together at the back as well. You don't need to necessarily make it 10, however, if you guys like are familiar with the kind of roof, essentially, I had a roof where we had 4 peaks. I feel like I've done it before in some tutorial, to where essentially you would mimic this peak on all 4 sides. I didn't think it looked good. You can try it if you want, just see what you think of it, but I didn't particularly like it, so I actually removed it. And I will copy this peak on the back though, but yeah, it is whoopsies, that's the wrong mouse button, I don't know how that happened. You would just do the same thing on the other sides and just make sure you follow the peak, and then on the corners you'd have blocks instead of stairs, which you'll see what I mean in a second if you do it. But yeah. I do want to get this roof at least marked out. What you can do is on the right and left, you have the top row of gray concrete. You'll place a row of deep slate tile stairs off of that overhangs off the front and back by one. Just like so. Extend them in with upside down deep slate tile stairs at the front and back. Then up with stairs. In with upside down stairs. Up with stairs. And you want to keep this going. The upside down stairs will face in. The regular stairs will face out. And you should eventually connect together at the top. Fairly basic roof, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is like the first roof ever to exist in Minecraft. Even though upside down stairs haven't existed forever. That's a fun fact right there if you didn't know that. And yeah, you're doing the same with the back as well. Don't fill in the middle because it's a different block. But yeah, I remember, I don't know if I remember the upside down stairs and subs, but I have two things I remember about stairs and subs. I remember specifically with stairs where the corners wouldn't like turn like this. Those didn't exist. That one and this one both didn't exist. And I remember when all slabs were how you had to break with a pickaxe. Even like oak slabs. Yeah, I guess that's the only like true form of dating myself to this game I have. Sure, I've got another one, I just can't remember. Anyway, you should have this. Before we actually focus on the rest of the roof, because it's particularly easy, I do want to get the banner litters out of the way. These are annoying. Get out a loom, get out some gray banners. You need specifically 6, unless we mess up, which I definitely might. I'm just going to grab 16, because it doesn't matter. And you need gray dye and white dye. Smash your loom on the floor aggressively. I'm actually going to put it on the lime so it doesn't kill my grass. I still have random 6 speed on for some reason in this world. And you want to pop in your first gray banner and a singular white dye. And you're doing the line across the top, which is Chief Fez. Pop in a single gray and we'll do the lozenge, which is the diamond looking out pattern. Put back in your white and do line down right and left, which is Pale Sinister and Pale Dexter. And then you'll do the line through the middle, which is Fez. As per usual, I am going to get rid of my loom, just so I have a little bit more space here. Although you don't need that much in theory. Pop in another gray banner and your white dye. And you're going to do line across top and bottom, which is Chief Fez and Base Fez. And then diagonal from top left to bottom right, which is, I want to say it's just bend, yeah. Put in your next gray banner and your white dye, and you're going to do line down left and right, which is Pale Dexter and Pale Sinister. Line through middle, which is Fez. Next one, you're going to do line across bottom, which is Base Fez, and then line down left, which is Pale Dexter. Next one, you're doing the same first 2 steps. You're doing line down left, which is Pale Dexter, and line across bottom, which is Base Fez. Then you're doing line across top, which is Chief Fez, and line through the middle, which is Fez. This one's weird. I am going to have to take this one a little bit slowly, and I'm also going to invert the way that I'm saying it. You'll see why, because I have an image. So you want to start by putting in your gray banner and your white dye, and you're doing the triangle at the top, which is inverted chevron, which is this one. You're then going to do the pattern line through the center, which is pale, going top to bottom. And then if you put in your gray dye and you do the like little teeth at the top, which is chief indented, that'll give you your Y. It's not perfect, but it does what it needs to do. So I went with it because I didn't... The lowercase looked dumb. I tried the lowercase at first, but because the A was the same size, it just didn't look right to me. But yeah. Anyway, you want to be above the... Where is it? You want to be above the, like, just before the dot here, where the, like, little corner gray concrete here. You're going to be right of it by a block, and you want to count up to the 3rd gray concrete, which should be this one right here. That's kind of a bad explanation. But you want to place your A banner there, and you can kind of see where it is. It's just above, like, this kind of portion of the middle. And just going right, you'll place the banners in the order we made them, which should spell out Ashley, which is A-S-H-L-E-Y. Cool. You could spell it with 2 E's, couldn't you? I know not in the particular context of this, but I feel like that's a thing. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Resin brick stairs, polished blackstone stairs, and polished blackstone blocks, and that should be everything. Above the center 2 banners of the logo, you're going to place a set of resin brick stairs that face away, or, yeah, no, towards each other, I guess. On top of that, you'll place resin brick stairs that actually face away from each other this time, which will give you this. That's my best interpretation of the logo that I could do with the 2x2 space. So, you know, it's not perfect, but... The roof we have here where the deep set tile stairs are, I mentioned you to leave it open. Yeah, now you can fill it in with polished black stone stairs, just connecting deep set tile to deep set tile stair. And then after this, we just have to fill in the main roof, which shouldn't be too bad. These like store tutorials always nice, because they're shorter than some of the like refresh and stuff. Because they're not particularly highly detailed. Anyway, you should have this. This one's a little bit more, I guess, but still not crazy. You're going to place a row of polished black stone on top of the row of smooth quartz going around. This will just help us to place these stairs off the outside, because if you do the stairs first, it's just a pain. Like, there's no point in doing the stairs first. Unless you want to suffer. I guess it is an option. Going around the outside of those blocks, you're going to place upside down polished black stone stairs, all kind of facing away. Making sure you do include the corners. That's really the only thing I think I have to mention here. You include the corners, and again, you want to make sure you're just facing away from the blocks, or placing them off the blocks, pretty much. And yeah. This will, like, never change. Sometimes I'll have, like, a row of slabs or something on top, maybe, but I don't know. It works, you know? It works as a roof design, so, and it looks good. You can just fill in your ceiling with polished black stone. That's the build done. I am gonna slash fill this. I was gonna do it manually, but that's too much space, and I can't be bothered to do it manually, so I'm doing the slash fill. Well, it should be fine. I don't think it'll cut off anything. You do want to make sure when you do slash fill like this that, because I've had it on, I think, my lows, to where the logo actually sat further back than the, like, front. So when I did it, it just, like, destroyed the letters. But yeah, I'm good there. Usually you'll be fine, because I generally have the middle out. But, like, there are some weird instances where that wall can go in a little bit and it just gets in the way. Or even if you, like, have it flush or something and you don't have the row blocks here and you try to fill that row, it can be weird. So you can always do keep to avoid that, and then if it ends up going over, then you just have to break whatever's there. If you're using slash fill for it. It's not a huge deal necessarily, because, you know, it is what it is. I'll make a new slash fill video hopefully soon. I gotta get ready for it though. I want to do new. Do I want to do a new structure block? That one's really not outdated, but I definitely want to do a new slash fill one, because they changed it like immediately after that, and I feel like it's really informative and good to know. Anyway, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the exterior for your Ashley Furniture home store complete. As I mentioned, there will be no interior, unfortunately. I hate all the banner letters. I'm so close. Why is that awful? Whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.